to be the weekly Pisces reading. I apologize. It's taking me so long to get these videos out. But I've been working, you know, a couple different odd jobs right now, and I deliver newspapers early in the morning. It's really taking it out of me. So I just got done doing my paper route, and I thought, you know what, before I lay down, I'm going to go ahead and make my Pisces video and go ahead and upload it. I do take a lot of time and energy out of my schedule to do these readings. And I know that, like, initially, you know, I got a lot of response, and it seemed like, you know, just kind of dwindled down to where now I have like a select audience. So it's more like quality over quantity, I think. You know, I'm not judging. I'm just saying I feel like the people who do watch my videos are being divinely guided to watch them. And this is part of my soul mission to do these readings. I don't really ask for anything in return, you know, but, you know, just to be, you know, respectful in the comment section, because like I said, I don't have to do these, and this is part of my soul purpose. And, you know, I really could be sleeping or doing other things besides making the videos, but I do enjoy making the videos. And as different messages and clarity and stuff come to me, I like to share them with my audience. So if you would like to make an energy donation, in the description of the video, I'll include my PayPal and my Cash App information. I've been doing my personal readings a little bit differently. Instead of just sending the link to the video, to your personal video to watch, I've actually been interacting with people on the phone. I believe that I'm probably going to, you know, kind of move on into like Skype maybe, to do the readings. But it's kind of like an interactive session, you know, where we talk back and forth, you know, for about 30 minutes, 35 minutes, however long it takes. And those are $40 right now. It may change later on, but for right now, that's how I'm doing it. You know, that way I can kind of get a sense of your energy too, and we can just kind of chat. So if that's something you'd be interested in doing, once again, that information will be in the description of the video. So I'm going to go ahead and get started. Lots going on with you, Pisces. I was like, this is really a heavy reading. It really is. We have the Two of Swords, Crossroads. And I feel like this is a choice, possibly a choice between two people. Possibly even, you know, if you're on a twin flame journey like I am, you know, and understand I do twin flame readings once a week too, so be sure and check out my videos. You know, possibly between a twin flame, maybe a soulmate, maybe between two people, maybe somebody from your past, somebody that you're with now, somebody's returned. And so now you're kind of torn between the two of them. I mean, that message is coming through really loud and clear with this. There is a lot of codependent energy in this reading, and I'm going to get to that here in a minute. Do make sure that you know the difference between love and codependency. For one thing, love is not a verb. I repeat, love is not a verb. Love is a state of being. It is a vibration. It is not what people do for you, because that is conditional. That is not what you do for other people, because it is conditional. Anytime love is considered to be a verb, it is conditional, and it is not love, because love is not conditional. It is codependency instead, because a lot of times we get involved with people and it's an addiction. We're addicted to them, obsessed with them. They're obsessed with us. We're addicted to them. We can't leave them alone. And then we're like, oh, well, we're oh so in love. Well, that is not love. That is a toxic situation. Even if it's not abusive in any way, it's still toxic, because it involves tit for tat. It involves not feeling like you can't live without somebody, and you should never be in the energy of feeling like you are scared to lose anybody else, because when you do that, you give away your power. And it's so empowering when you can face all of your fears. I have been facing all of my fears lately, and I've almost faced all of them. And I feel so good. But I had kind of reset my intention about 2 months ago on this journey, that this journey is about me, because it is. It's not about anyone else. And my intention was to feel good and to be able to stand on my own 2 feet, not need anyone or anything, and not be scared of anything. And with that being said, the universe has been supporting me, but I have attracted several lessons of which I had to face fears. And so it was difficult, but I knew the whole time that once I got to the other side of it, that, man, I was going to feel so good. And the best way to face codependency and to cut it off is to go cold turkey like any other addiction. Now, a lot of times when we get involved in a codependent relationship, sometimes the other person has some sort of addiction, and we become the enabler. And, out of fear of loss, I was in a codependent situation, with my twin flame initially on this journey, where I was enabling, and I was scared not to enable, because what if he went to somebody else? And then finally I got to the point where I was like, fuck it. Let them be the one that's getting used, not me. I'm not going to have any part to do with that. Besides, I know I'm absolutely amazing on my own, and I don't have to do anything to earn love. And that's the energy you have to get into in order to step into your power completely. I'm sorry, this is going to be an extra long reading. Took a while to clarify that. We have the 6 of Wands, success. So I am seeing that in other areas of your life, financially, you are experiencing some financial gain and success right now. I feel like it's because, and I'm not taking away from that, but sometimes when we're going through a shitty situation at home, or if our love life's messed up, we focus on our finances. I know I'll work my ass off just because I stay busy and I don't think about it. And so then you have lots of financial success. And then I found myself, you know what? I want to look cute. So I'm going to spend more money on my hair. I'm going to spend more money on my clothes and shoes. And, I'm that girl. Trust me. And once again, I'm not taking away from that. But that can become a crutch. Do make sure that you're not so focused on success. And another message that's coming through too is that, if you've had your heart broken, or if somebody's done something to betray you, you want to be like, look at me. You know what? I don't need you. Look how good I'm doing. And you're doing that for someone else and not for yourself. That's a lot of energy to put into something for someone else. You're not honoring yourself. So do make sure that you are taking the time to rest. You're not becoming a workaholic, a retail addict. I know I did that. Anything as a band-aid right now. Do really take a close look at it and make sure you're not trying to avoid yourself. We have 2 codependent cards. We have this one. I actually looked up the meaning of this card right here. Hold on, let me look at it. And it said codependency. I don't usually go to the book, but I did want to read this. Codependency. This is the house of need and being needed in return. There's a strong emphasis on loyalty and responsibility. The card here will show where you can find most trustworthy support. So we have this one. And then we also have this one. Addictions are affecting your own romantic life. So, and I kind of skipped over that, but those 2 cards really go together. So basically, I do believe that what I had said earlier, that possibly a partner or ex-partner, or, someone who you're obsessing about has an addiction. And you in return are addicted to them. And usually how it works is the person who's addicted, they pull away to their addictions or other people or whatever it is they have going on. And then you are focused on them. So it's like you're pushing them and they're pulling away. This energy really needs to be neutralized. And how do you neutralize that energy? You can never, ever, ever go wrong by focusing on yourself. Now, make sure when you're focusing on yourself, it's not this overworking and this look at me, look how successful I am, I'm going to show you energy, because that's not what I'm talking about. What I'm talking about is really spending some time contemplating, trying to figure out why you get involved in these type situations to begin with. What is it about you? I know with my particular situations that I've had over and over again, and I saw a meme the other day on Facebook, and it was real funny. It said, line all your exes up together and you'll see the flow chart for your mental illness. Because we get in patterns. And it was so funny to me. I was like, man, that shit is so accurate. And the reason why I did it, and I'm not speaking for you, is because, you know, my dad abandoned the man who I thought was my dad. That's another story. He wasn't even my dad to begin with. Abandoned me and my family when I was 8 years old. And so I spent a whole lifetime trying to make myself valuable enough to not be discarded again. Until I realized that, you know what? I don't need anybody to begin with. Who fucking cares? I am enough on my own. If nobody wants me, I'm all right. But I know that I am wanted anyway because I'm all that in a bag of chips. And if you don't realize it, then oh well. And that's the energy you have to get to, because like I said, I spent so much time enabling and trying to, and then I would find somebody who really didn't even measure up to the standards I should have had. And then I would overgive to them. So they're sitting there like, damn, I don't need, for one thing, I don't even know why this person wants me. Much less why they won't leave me the fuck alone and why they're doing everything under the sun for me. And it freaks people out. It really does. It freaks them out. And then they pull away to whatever else just to get away from you. And then you're sitting there thinking, but I'm too good for them anyway. Why are they leaving me? Exactly. Check yourself. We have the Eight of Pentacles, or the Eight of Pentacles. You know I'm tired. Knight of Pentacles, loyalty. And this has to do with, remember what I had read in the book about loyalty. You're loyal to a fault. Absolutely to a fault. And loyal to everyone and anyone but yourself. Start being loyal to yourself. Put yourself first. Set boundaries. Learn how to say no. No, I'm not going to give you money. No, I'm not going to pay your rent. No, I'm not going to give you a ride. No, you can't use my car. You know, I mean, just anything like that. No. It's all about me, and this is my stuff, and it's all about me. And you know what? What are you going to do for me? It's like that Janet Jackson, what have you done for me lately? That's the energy you need to get into. To clarify that card, we have appreciation. And how do we align to better situations in our life? Take a look around. Make a mental list. Make an actual physical list of all the things that you have in your life that are positive. Stop focusing on what you don't have and focus on what you do have. Whatever positive connections you have. You have a good job. Obviously, you have a great means to support yourself. Do start showing appreciation for those things so that you can start manifesting and attracting more of the same. Beautiful. Six of Pentacles, generosity. I feel like this goes with that loyalty card. This is that whole being generous to a fault. You really need to work on boundaries. And the way that you develop boundaries is, once again, putting yourself first. We are trained and taught that we're supposed to be selfless and sacrificing, and, you know, especially women. And this is not true. You know, we are told, I know my mom, when I was a kid, she would say, all you care about is yourself. She would tell me that all the time. To where when I got to be like a teenager, I had a lot of guilt and blame if I put myself first. And then I found myself getting in situations and relationships where I did not put myself first because I thought I'm not supposed to, because my mom said all I cared about was myself, and obviously that was a bad thing. It was judged as bad. And so I was conditioned to believe that I should not put myself first. And I believe a lot of us are, especially females. But this is wrong. You should always put yourself first, because that is how we set boundaries, by learning how to say no and having healthy relationships. I love these art oracle cards. I haven't even looked at this one yet. I have not looked at this one, and I have not read the postcard yet, so you know. If nothing else, be prolific. Choose to have as many styles as you do lovers. Make something worth impersonating. I believe what I'm really getting from this card altogether is that whole beauty is in the eyes of the beholder. And really start to look at things from like a different angle, from a different view. Don't be scared for things to be messy a little bit and not be so perfect, because a lot of times we want everything to be picture perfect, especially if others are watching. If others are watching, we want everything to appear to be in place. And the whole energy I'm getting from this card is, and I have a problem with social media relationships, just because I was in a marriage for 20 years where I fronted a lot. Like, I was happy, like, oh, my husband's so great, and really he wasn't. So when I see people, like on social media, for instance, really kind of going overboard about their relationships or how happy they are, or really putting on fronts, I automatically question it, because you know what? Life gets messy sometimes. And sometimes you have to say, you know what? I'm having a shitty day. Who cares? Everybody doesn't have to know your business, but be real, be authentic, and stop worrying about what other people think about you. It doesn't make any difference. Everyone's got their own shit they're going through. And to believe it or not, people are really not as worried about you as you think that they are. This is our ego wanting to think that, we are, we have haters, and people are like wanting to be us, and people hate us, and they're doing this, that, or whatever else. We're aligning to that by where we vibrate at. So really try to be authentic and stop worrying so much about what people think. And like I said, things can be messy sometimes. Everything doesn't have to be perfect. Everything doesn't have to make sense. Everything doesn't have to fit together. Stop judging and labeling and trying to put things into categories, and this is good, this is bad. It just is. Just practice just being for a while and being authentic, and like I said, really being vulnerable, and admitting if someone hurts you. It's all right to admit someone hurts you. It's all right, because to really put on a front for others, you're doing that more for them than yourself. And the message that's coming through here is to honor yourself. And we're trying to really get out of that codependent energy of needing others anyway. Now, there's so many synchronicities. We have 2 codependent cards. I've already done those 2. We have this destruction card, and we have another ship card. Look, it's kind of a glare. So there's 2 ships, and those ships look almost identical. Almost identical. This is the Tower card. And then, so we have another one. And so basically the message that I'm getting with this is that you've had some clarity in some situations in your life. Some things came tumbling down. Maybe, I know I was in a situation where, and understand, the only way I can really describe the energy of the card, since souls, the universe, any of that do not have a spoken language, so to speak, because our souls are all connected and they make up the universe. So when I say soul, universe is interchangeable. There's no language. So because I read the energy of these cards, a lot of times it's hard to put into words, so I have to give a scenario. So I apologize if you get sick of my stories. But I know I had thought I had like all these friends and stuff that I grew up with, and I was like, oh, they love me, they're so supportive of me. And then I went through some heartache and pain last year, and that tower came crashing down because they all like walked away from me. They all not only did they walk away from me and abandon me, but they pretty much took sides with the party that hurt me. Which hurt me even more. So I went on a great purge last year and blocked a whole lot of people out of my life. And I'm still kind of working through this because I still feel some kind of way about it. But this tower came down because I realized at that time that really all that I had was myself. I was all alone. And I had to learn to step into my own power. And in doing that, I had to stop giving a damn about what people thought about me. Here, I was publicly embarrassed, was humiliated, I was heartbroken, and everybody knew it. It was probably my biggest nightmare. Because we don't want people to know that we've been made a fool out of. We don't want people to know that our heart's been broken into a million pieces. And that goes back to what I was saying earlier about not caring what other people think. Because Spirit had to come in and tell me, you know what? These people have stuff of their own going on, and they really don't give a damn one way or another. And you can tell they don't give a damn. They don't give a damn. So stop worrying about them. So sometimes something has to come in that's so painful that it really is a tower coming down to really show us some things and to really show us ourselves. And I really should really look at the situation as something to be grateful for, but I'm still really hurt about it. But, and still judging it, because we judge things. But you have 2 tower cards, so I do feel like something has happened that has really given you some clarity. To clarify that, we have Blame My Gypsy Soul, Gypsy. A gypsy is free-spirited. And so I feel like Pisces are very sensitive people anyway. And very free-spirited. And artistic, creative. Most of the Pisces I know are very artsy, poetic. So I feel like the reason why you got hurt is because for once you absolutely went all in. You took down your guards. You went all in. This was a situation that you could just write poetry about. You could write songs about. And it was the most beautiful, soulful, connected relationship you'd ever had. And then it ended. And this was that destruction that you went through. And you're still going through this. And I feel like, for one thing, check out my twin flame videos. Definitely check those out because there's a reason for everything. And this is for you to grow, to learn and grow. In the situation that you were in, you were not quite ready for yet because you have to face some things about yourself. And this person held up a mirror and showed you. And so now you need to face those things, and you need to work on this codependent energy, these cycles that you've been stuck in your whole life, and try to figure out why you do those things. And you're going to have to do that cold turkey, and it's hard, I know. I faced it. 7 of Cups, possibility. So now that, the dust has settled, you're faced with, different possibilities, different choices. Do you stay alone? Do you, you have maybe somebody new that's came along that you're thinking, well, this person could help mend my broken heart. But you'll be in another codependent situation because then you'll be stuck on them. It's like we transfer. You know, we take pain from when we're in one relationship and we don't completely heal from it. We're still all upset, but yet we're looking for somebody to put a band-aid on it, kind of fulfill us, make us whole again. And then we transfer all that pain that we had onto that person. And then, you know, if you're in a situation, you know, like I have been, where you're kind of in and out of each other's lives, and then you have somebody else involved, and now you're stuck in this situation where, man, this person who is the love of my life keeps trying to come back in, but now I'm with this person, so what do I do? So the whole thing is really to spend that time getting to know yourself and dealing with your shit and just kind of pulling back your energy for a while. That is the message that's coming through from Spirit. We have the marriage card. So I'm feeling like this situation that you got hurt in was a very serious one, and that you were actually even considering marriage. Maybe, you know, they moved on. Maybe they married somebody else. And you're sitting there left holding the bag, like, what now, you know? But like I said, if this person is for you, you cannot lose them because they will always come back to you. So do have faith. If they're not for you, maybe they were just there for a reason, for a season, just to teach you and show you something. But you have to have faith, because the only way you're going to know is to give it a little bit of time. And I know I say time doesn't exist, but in the physical world it does. So I'm going to go ahead and say it for all practical purposes. Give it a little bit of time. There's a lot of pain in this reading. All right, I have not read this postcard yet, so let's go ahead and read it. Let's see if I can get there. Dearest you, let us ask you, are you looking for happiness outside of your everyday moment-to-moment experience, thinking you will find happiness out there someday? So many go chasing a magic it out there, but it never could be found there. So we want to share a secret that shouldn't be a secret. You are pure joy. What made you is pure joy, and every time you wake up and even when you sleep, you have joy waiting to be expressed inside you. Joy and happiness and fullness come from doing joy. Being joy, knowing it, cultivating it, lighting it in your heart so you can share it. You must know this when the time comes. You'll be fully free, and your joyful being and actions will turn you into a beacon of starlight. Look within and be joyful, even for tears and loss, for they mean you have lived, really lived. Jump into it all and love every minute. We all love you like crazy over here. Well, that kind of reminds me of this appreciation card about being joyful will turn you into a beacon of light. Look within and be joyful, even for tears and loss, for they mean you have lived, really lived. And so it's kind of like that cliche. What is that? It's better to have loved and lost than never to have loved at all. That's the energy that I'm really getting with this card right here. But like I said, do give it a little bit of time and everything will work out exactly like it's supposed to. But what you need to do in the meantime is work on breaking this codependent energy, and that means not transferring your pain and emotions onto another person. All right, well, this is your weekly reading. Thank you for watching.